go. Hey everybody, it's Kevin from Twin Talk, and today we're going to be talking all about Captain Marvel. Stick around to the end of the episode to see how our drawing of Captain Marvel came out. And if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel for more content. Captain Marvel is a 2019 Marvel film directed by Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden, starring Brie Larson as Carol Danvers. And I gotta admit, I thoroughly enjoyed this film when it came out, and upon rewatch, getting ready for next week, The Marvels coming to theaters. This movie is definitely solid, very well rounded, very well shot, very well directed, very well written. The comedy works. All of the action is really, really well done, and it hooks us immediately. I think the first half hour to 40 minutes of this movie is like non-stop. Everything's firing. From the beginning, I was sold on her look alone, the whole Kree soldier. It's very punk rock. I love the way she kind of has like this mohawk that sticks out. The eyes look sick. That opening war sequence where it really showcases how badass Carol Danvers is, or Veers as we know her in this time, with her squadron coming up out of the water, taking on the Skrulls, which were very well handled, how they shapeshift. They're kind of viewed as the enemy, and they're villains usually in the comic books, but I really liked the angle here. What everything is not what it appears to be. Even with the Kree and the Skrull war, each side thinks that they're right, and the Skrulls are really portrayed as refugees in the end, and I really, really like that angle of them kind of being like viewed as rodents and less than, and kind of like immigrants, and just, you know, it gets kind of like political in that way, and I really liked how they weaved that in story-wise. And you actually like the Skrulls and kind of side with them because they're really just looking for a home planet. They're scattered throughout. Ben Mendelsohn, I think his name is the actor. He does a great job as this leader of the Skrulls, Talos, and we come to know him more in Secret Invasion, which we reviewed. But yeah, he really did an excellent job here. And honestly, some of the shots of the Skrulls slurping on milkshakes and wearing like regular human clothes was like such a flavor that I really ate up, and that really worked comedy-wise too. But for the first half of the movie, you're kind of viewing the Skrulls as the enemy, and the tension there is really, really well paced, really well directed, and all these small glimpses of foreshadowing, like that train sequence is so well done between the beats of Carol running into the old woman before she gets on the train, and then realizing that the old woman she just saw is not what it appears, and then punching the old woman in the face to everyone else onlooking that has no idea what's going on. It's such a comedic beat and so awesome to see. It's hilarious. And then Grandmama goes all out and becomes like this ape on this train, which is horrifying to see. But those first few action sequences, oh my God, when she lands in Blockbuster, is so heartwarming to me. The nostalgia fuel. I wanted to visit this set and go back in time and kind of just make my selection on Friday night with some popcorn and Reese's Pieces. Oh, I love that. The Game Boy. A lot of really good nostalgia happening here. The soundtrack is excellent. A lot of grunge music, which was very popular in the 90s. It takes place in 1995. The styles of the clothing, the flannels, all of it was really, really working. And for the time period, you know, a movie that would have come out not too long ago, maybe 10 years ago in the 80s, Top Gun, it's got Top Gun flavor weaved throughout this film with the, you know, the pilots. Cat's name is literally Goose. That whole like bar sequence where they're hanging out is very reminiscent of that atmosphere. And there's a lot of good dog fights, aerial battles, that very high octane, high adrenaline sequences done in a Marvel extraterrestrial way in this movie. The de-aging technology is really on display here with Samuel Jackson returning as Nick Fury, set, you know, decades prior to the current Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it, and it's seamless, it's flawless here. And their relationship, Nick Fury and Carol Danvers, is really kind of a heart of the movie, as well as this family, the Rambos. Jude Law plays an excellent villain. The guy's so likable to begin with, but then to have this like cruel intentions, selfish angle, twist really plays very well. And he kind of plays this like, you know, embodiment of like toxic masculinity and kind of dampens Carol throughout the movie, which it's a great female empowerment movie. If I was a little girl seeing this movie, I would want to go higher, further, faster. It was a job well done. It wasn't really shoved in your face, and I applaud them for that because it's just an inspiring character. Costumes are great in this movie. The makeup is great, especially with the Skrulls. They all look amazing. I have a lot of good things to say about this movie, so the negatives, not so much negatives, just more of an opinion. When I first saw the movie, I thought Brie Larson was kind of annoying, kind of standoffish, kind of unbearable. But upon rewatch, I really get it now because she's playing this tough exterior of a warrior. She's a warrior, you know, both on Earth and as the Kree civilization. She's looked down on by all these men with the troops, with this guy Yon-Rogg, Jude Law, and she's kind of restricted and kind of hindered throughout this entire film until the third act of the film, when she becomes absolutely overpowered, which is kind of a negative of the film, I have to say, because going forward, you really don't even need the Avengers. She's just like, you know, effortlessly shredding through Kree warships like it's toilet paper. So they could have made her stronger without her being like, you know, invincible. The Supreme Intelligence I always thought was kind of cheesy, this like AI you know, nucleus of this civilization. It was kind of like an odd thing to begin with. It makes the movie a little bit longer than it needs to be, because the movie is very long. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. There's definitely some villains or certain sequences that they could have eliminated, maybe shaved 10 minutes off the film. It kind of slows down towards the middle of the film, but the first and third act of the movie really are solid. I would just either get rid of Ronan or the Supreme Intelligence, because you already have this main villain who is Yon-Rogg with Jude Law, and that works fine. So you don't need all these three villains facing off against her. Overall, I really had a great time watching this movie. I had a great time rewatching it. I'm gonna give this thing an 8.5 out of 10. Absolutely solid job all around here. I'm more excited now than ever for the Marvels. I'm hoping that this movie delivers, because Marvel has been kind of up and down, hot and cold since the Endgame era, and I'm really hoping that with new characters and the TV shows kind of jumping to the big screen with Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau from WandaVision, that they kind of help enhance the story, and as this, you know, female-led trio, it will be a nice sequel to a really solid film in Captain Marvel. What did you guys think of Captain Marvel? Let us know in the comments below. Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Twin Talk. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below to join the discussion, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. We'll see you next time. Peace.